Life and dating as a single mom. We will talk about it. I'm here with the one and only Coach Andres. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Alex, it's been a while. How are you doing? What is going on?
You know, life is amazing. We have a lot to catch up, of course.
We
but
do.
I'm glad to see you, my brother. I'm glad to talk about this topic because I became officially a father for the second time.
Everybody.
It's something special, and this time it's a little girl, so it's just different. She's so sweet. Her name is Athena, and she's amazing.
Heart melted.
Heart melted, as you mentioned.
Done.
But you know, that's why this topic is very important to me. I made a video a couple of days after she was born in French, and I just said, my God, as a single mother, I don't know how you do it. You know, when you're by yourself with your children or only one child, it is something difficult. It is something very special. Wow. And so I have so much respect, love, and admiration for all the single mom. And I know you have coached a lot of single mom, but I didn't realize, okay, I have one son, he's 2 years old. But even before that, I didn't realize that there is people that can have children, educate them by themselves.
Yeah.
You know, I have my wife, I have some help. My mother-in-law is living with us. My mom is traveling a lot. And even with all of this team, I can feel overwhelmed. So I wanted to talk and just to congratulate all the single mom, share our love to them, but also talk about it's not the end. We can still date. We can still find good men, even if we are single mom.
That's a beautiful story. Congratulations again. I think you nailed it on the head on with the idea of just a stronger appreciation for all single moms or even single parents in today's world. We primarily coach women, so we will refer this to single moms. And you know, one thing I've seen in 5 years and heard coaching majority of my clients being single moms are the fact that they still have this ambitious enthusiasm for love, desire for romance and relationships, you know, trying to maybe correct their mistakes from their past relationship, divorce, marriage, or even the father of the child. They still have a very optimistic look at love. And I love and admire that as a single man myself, you know, hoping to get married and have a family one day. And I look at it where I hope they just understand and give themselves more compassion, more patience, more forgiveness, because they do have a big plate. The plate's full. It's a lot going on. And I think you can now know the difference of the father's connection to a baby and then, you know, the mom's connection to just like maybe a different level, you know, in the sense of just biologically or just naturally how they feel and connected and bonded with. And so that's where we want to help out you ladies with this podcast and what we do as coaches to help you be more effective with who you choose to go on a date with, help you be more effective with your time so you can be with your kids and have time for yourself. And that way, the single moms that we coach or with the stories we've heard, we want to make sure they don't repeat the same habits or mistakes to be with the wrong guy or the wrong relationship.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing that, you know, kind of like take up to my mind when I think about single mom and the women that I've coached in this kind of situation. Usually the love that you have for your children, the love that's very unconditional, it's what you will try to duplicate to your love life. And that's
well
when
said.
That's when you give a little bit too much to men, or that's when you open the door to toxic men that will take advantage of you. So my philosophy, but I want to hear your thoughts on this one. My philosophy is to say love is not unconditional when it comes to relationship. Men, women, when you want to be a couple, love is not unconditional. You cannot accept everything.
No way.
Or anything.
No.
So, you know, most of the people, they will say love is unconditional. You need to accept everything.
No.
I'm glad that we have the same philosophy. I want to hear
I mean, I always hear those stories, and I read a lot of research articles on the idea of you have to accept me at my worst. No, I don't. No, I don't. I will do my best, but I don't have to accept and just commit to it for forever. There has to be a level of self-awareness. And the first thing I've noticed, and I'm very curious about, what would you say before I give my opinion on this? What would you say is probably the most important advice or dating tip for a single mom, just from the get-go of thinking about dating?
So there is two things that I wanted to mention. Number one is this one. please don't seek love as unconditional. Don't focus on a man like you will focus on your children, because you're too nice, you're too available, you're too needy. That goes against my rules of dating. That's number one. Number two, I have seen a pattern. The single mom, most of you, unfortunately, you will go for the same kind of love, which is a love that gives you some butterflies in your stomach. But you're not looking for a man that has values. You're not looking for a real foundation. You're not looking for love. You're looking for passion. And the problem with passion is that we can go crazy sometimes. So those are the two things that I work with the women I coach in order for them to be a single mom, but also a woman that will go for love, healthy love.
That you just said it perfectly, because my advice kind of groups up both of those in one, where I've learned this through coaching. I didn't realize this or recognize this personally, or even dated this situation. I recognize this through patterns of all the clients I've coached as a single mom, was that when it came to the way they parent their child, especially when I was a son, because obviously they were trying to attract a man, or obviously a daughter, it's very black or white, very simple and very clear how to have a certain high characteristic or a high value, high morals, high standards, because that's my son. That's my daughter. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Say thank you. Say you're welcome. Be, well-mannered. Very basic, well-mannered personality traits that you raise your beautiful princess or your beautiful prince to be. But for some reason, these moms don't take their own advice. They get swept up with the infatuation, the romance, the love bomber, the sex, the charm. Do you trust him? Does he treat you the way you treat him? No. Does he communicate clearly? And so it's interesting. I'm like, you raise your son. A lot of my clients in this situation, I'm like, you raise your son to be a good man, a good boy. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Always respect your elders. You know what I'm saying? Never bully anyone. Always try to help. Be caring, be helpful. Don't be a little piece of you-know-what. And I'm like, beautiful. You raise your son so perfect. You can write a book on it. But you date horribly. Why?
It's a very good question. And I try to, as you do, I try to make my coaches open their eyes. And so I try to use some examples where I use the kids. So let me tell you this story. I was coaching an amazing woman from Switzerland. Okay. She's dating a guy that's on and off. And she came to me and she said, Alex, I really want to make him commit. And so the more we were talking, I was looking for the solution. I said, okay, first of all, did you try to communicate with him your frustration? Yes, I did communicate with him multiple times and he didn't really change. He's not paying attention to my words. So I asked her, okay, she has a son that is 11 years old. I said, what is happening if your son is not listening to you?
Yeah, perfect.
She started to say, if he's not listening to him, I will repeat myself, but there is a moment where I will punish him. And I said, okay, but how can you punish your kid? It's very easy, 11 years old. You take the phone back or the tablet, right? And so I said, okay, but what can you do to punish this man that is not changing? She went quiet. And so that's my goal as a coach, to make them realize that, as you mentioned, they will treat a man a certain way that is not the way they will educate their children, or that they even ask themselves their commitment. And so she started to tell me, okay, Alex, I understand. When he comes back, I cannot give him sex. When he comes back, I cannot even talk to him because he didn't hear, or he heard me, but he didn't care about what I said.
Didn't appreciate, didn't acknowledge, nothing.
Exactly. So that's exactly your point. Sometimes the questions are very easy, but as coaches, we want to ask the real good question. And if you look at the way you educate your children, if they don't do what you want, you punish them. But with men, sometimes they are full of excuses,
and
right?
You accept too much. They accept
How can
too
they
much.
stop accepting too much? What is your vision as a single mom? Because let's keep in mind that as a single mom, what I realize now that I'm a parent, I'm very more chill. I will try to let go with everything, like it's kind of like everything is beautiful. I'm changing a diaper. Oh my God, it's beautiful. No, it smells.
It smells so healthy. It smells healthy.
And of course, she's the most beautiful daughter. And I have the most beautiful son in the world. So as a single mom, I think there is this vision of everything is beautiful, everything is easy. So how can they make them get more respect from men?
They have to understand, there's one thing I coached somebody yesterday about this, was that I've seen how sometimes single moms put this over pressure where they don't want to be another failed relationship. They don't want to bring another failed candidate as a male role model or a figure to their family or their home, or at least in the presence of their child. So that's why you have to be even more selective, be more effective with who you're choosing to a high character person. Someone who supports and understands your maybe minimal availability, or your fact that you're prioritizing family and everything you got to do first. So you have to understand that you're looking for a emotionally mature man. Unless you're obviously, I know some scenarios that people are looking just for a thing or a fling or here, and that's fine. We don't judge situations like that. But if you're looking for a boyfriend, a man, and you're a single mom and a single woman, you have to look at, you want this man to be a good, high character role model figure for your child one day. Anything less is a waste of your time. I understand, again, situationships or friends with benefits and okay, we got it. We all have needs. But if you're looking for that relationship, you got to think in that sense. You got to raise that bar for what you think, who's going to be around my son, who's going to be around my daughter. And it doesn't have to erase or at least compete with the actual father of the baby.
Of course, it's something very important.
Exactly.
It's a different situation.
That's a whole different topic.
Yeah, for sure.
But you at least have to now know what you don't want, and that should be the forefront of what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, maybe you guys didn't want to get married, or maybe you did get divorced, or maybe you guys didn't want to, work this out. Whatever the situation, we've heard all different scenarios.
Yeah.
And we understand and respect all of them. The idea is, if you want to bring a man in your family and your home one day, he better be a good man, not a good lover. And there's a huge difference.
I love what you mentioned, Coach Andres. And, it's something that we want you to pay attention, ladies, because you have so much on your plate. You mentioned it, the full schedule. And you have to take time for yourself, for your friends, for your family. But there is one thing that I wanted to mention as well. I have seen that men, toxic men, when they hear single mom, they know that they can take advantage as well. So, ladies, I'm sorry to tell you that it's not to blame you, because, of course, it's not your fault. But just so you know, as a single mom, some toxic men, they will see you as an opportunity to take advantage of you.
Because they know you're vulnerable.
Exactly. Yeah. So I didn't have the word in English, but that's exactly
the vulnerability, and I get it, where it's okay to be vulnerable. You should accept and embrace that you're vulnerable, but you shouldn't act vulnerable.
Yeah, and you need to be careful, because some men, they will try to take advantage of it. Especially they want to be part of your children's life very fast in order for them to be in control of you. So you need to keep this in mind. When you will be dating today, a lot of men, they will try to take advantage subconsciously to the situation. And we are here to also help you identify someone you can trust, someone that you cannot trust. I think dating is this. It's like really picking the right person. But I have seen also my client being kind of, I would say, having less social life. Just right before coming to the studio, I was coaching an amazing woman, and she told me, but Alex, I don't have a lot of friends. And I said, before to date, let's start with socializing.
Yes.
Let's start with going out and meeting new people. What do you think of this, Coach Andres?
It's huge, because you already have a handful of situations that you got to deal as a single parent, and you have that committed for the rest of your life, or at least until they turn 18 or college or whatever. So you want to bring stable, secure elements, feelings, connections to your life. And if you play that gambling, dating game to find and risk the idea that one person on Match or Bumble or Swipe Right, he will represent all that, he'll fill that void, then you're really playing a dangerous game, because you don't know what to trust. That's why it's important to make sure you commit to something that no one can take away, that no one can ghost you for, that no one can manipulate from. And that building that social group, or that fulfillment, if it's, again, my 3 Fs, family, faith, fitness, find whatever it is that you want to do, and then open more doors in those 3 worlds. They're always going to make you feel better. Every time you commit to anything with family, faith, and fitness, I always feel better. And so you want to be in the social groups or social environments with people who represent those same qualities. And that way you feel a little more fulfilled, you feel a little more whole, you feel a little more loved. And that way you might not be as vulnerable to look the other way or basically ignore red flags. There already is a lot of vulnerability in the dating game in general. But for a single parent and specifically a single mom, I can only imagine where it's like, it's hard to believe what you can believe or not.
Mm-hmm.
And you have no time to yourself. You're highly committed and invested to your kids, plus work, plus maybe a personal life. Can I take a break? You know what I mean? And so you have to look at it where you need to be more effective with who you're choosing. And I help as what I do as a coach, and I know you do the same, is like help them find those fulfillments on things that's not dating related first,
Mm-hmm.
and then go into the dating world.
Yeah. I love what you mentioned. And it's very important for you ladies to trust the process as well.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is, as a single mom, you still have your chances to find a good man, maybe a single dad, someone that will accept your children, someone that you can build an amazing relationship with, because that's the good news as well. I've seen all the single mom understanding the reasons of the breakup, the reasons of why was it so difficult to be with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can grow from it, because instead of just looking at the passion, looking at the excitement of being in a relationship, we also look at the sacrifices that we have to make,
Mm-hmm.
and the way we can build a relationship that will last. So I want to give you as well a sense of relief, knowing that it's possible and you are in a better situation, because you know already how difficult and beautiful it is to be in a good and healthy relationship. But as Coach Andres mentioned, don't waste our time. We don't want to waste our time with men that will just manipulate you, take your confidence low, use your time and not give back. All of those things are the one that we want to stay away.
You said it perfectly. Trust the process. And when you think about that, ladies, you have to look at it where whatever we ask you or try to coach and suggest, again, we coach you. We don't try to tell you what to do. We try to give you suggestions. Is trust in the process is these things that are helpful for you are for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't have like instant gratification or be impatient or be, just kind of stubborn about it. You want to invest long term, because whatever you do commit to, again, faith, family, fitness, or whatever it is that's your pillars of life. That's not about dating. You're gonna benefit you're gonna benefit everything you do for the rest of your life in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. It's gonna be making you more attractive, more desirable, more fulfilled, more successful. And so at first it might not seem it's coming through, kind of like losing weight or getting in shape, all that stuff. You don't really see the results, but you got to trust the process, because these are foundational pillars that not only your kid are observing and admiring and who you are, but you're investing more in yourself than you never had before. Because we all know single moms give so much to their kids, and maybe whatever they were in that marriage or their relationship, probably they gave so much to that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So single moms are very good at putting themselves last.
Yeah.
Always taking care of everyone else first.
Unfortunately.
And so trust the process, where I know I can't put myself first with my baby. Fine. Understandable. But I can put myself top 3. And if I do maybe 30 minutes a day, 4 times a week, can I do 2 hours to myself? Can I be selfish for 2 hours? I think you deserve at minimum that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, when you build that up, that's what? 8 hours a month. And then you multiply that by the year.
Yeah.
Now you're really molding something, building something that no guy, or at least some toxic guy, you're going to see right away who's trying to jeopardize that. You're like, get away.
Yeah. Because they don't try, the toxic men, they will stop their efforts,
Yeah, exactly.
They don't try to go for strong women.
They can't.
If they know that, for example, I have one of my clients who told me, but Alex, look, after 4 dates, he started to not responding to me anymore. And I said, did he try to be intimate? Yes, since the first date, he was trying to be intimate. And I said, no. So he's not serious. He's just looking for a woman that will say, yes, you're confident, you're changing. So now you're selective.
Yes.
And I'm so happy because she found someone, and now they are both in a relationship. So it was a single dad with a single mom, just being together and living with 4 kids in total. That's 6 of them. But she was like, I'm not sure I would be able to find someone to, hey, when I raise my standard, toxic men, they don't come to me, because they understand that they cannot manipulate me. They cannot take advantage of me.
Nope.
And that's what we are trying to do here, but it requires some commitment. And listening to Coach Andres right now, there is one book that I love. It's called The Compound Effect from Darren Hardy. Darren Hardy is the president CEO of the magazine Success. He did this book that really changed my life.
Please send it to me.
It's very easy, simple to read, simple concept, but it's just exactly what you mentioned. 30 minutes a day, wow, that's not a lot. I'm not sure I can be a woman, I cannot be myself, only 30 minutes a day. But it's at the end of the month.
Yeah.
More than 8 hours.
Yeah. 8 hours you've never done for yourself.
Yeah. And that's like the compound effect. It's when you really, it's like going to the gym for 30 minutes. Bullshit. What? 30 minutes every day. It's 8 out of the gym at the end of the month. Yeah. It's losing weight, gaining muscles, feeling better, etc. And that's the principle of the compound effect that I just love.
It's huge because as an adult or a parent or a husband or a wife or whatever, you're never going to have all day, all week to commit to anything of the process. Reality is the limited time you have is the time you better make that shows results to build you up to where you want to be. So if it is 10 minutes of meditation, 30 minutes in the gym, 45 minutes, journaling, whatever it is you got to do, commit to that, because that's something that is going to show such an effect, not just for your dating world, but for your family. It's going to make you a better person. It's going to make you a better parent. And I had a client earlier this week about this, and she thinks so highly of this guy for whatever reason. I'm not going to go into it. And she thinks of him highly in the relationship world and ignores his almost rude, if not selfish opinions about parenting. They went on a work trip recently, and he goes basically, stop worrying about it. He's 10 years old. He'll be fine. And I was like, so he's still counting with his fingers. 10. Like he just turned 10. He won't, for a mom to think he's 10, he's got it.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy doesn't get it. And he never will. And he's not a parent. I'm not a parent, but I at least understand like a 10-year-old, like I'm not going to be that confident to my 10-year-old. He's fine. And so his ignorance, she doesn't understand and process it. And I'm like, why do you think him so highly as a lover or a potential boyfriend, or he's so successful, this and all the other thing? But his disrespectful naiveness to your most important person in your life. Stop worrying about him. He's fine. And she's like, well, this is the first time I left him. And yeah, he just turned 10.
Yeah.
And so I found that just like mind blowing.
Yeah, I think we live in a world where there is a lot of men, but also people in general that have a lack of emotional intelligence. They cannot connect to emotion.
Have you seen Love Island?
I have to watch it because my wife is watching it, right?
Yeah, that's what every guy says. So now the tables have turned. I watched the Bachelor finale because my clients talk about it. You have to, all right, let's get on the subject.
But I know you're a big fan of it, not me.
No, I it's research. It's research.
No, it's very interesting.
It is.
There is a lack of emotional intelligence definitely in this world.
Yeah.
And that's why you want, as a single mom, that should be the top priority. Mm-hmm. Someone that has emotional intelligence. They control their emotions. You're not their therapist trying to fix their wounds. Yeah. They want to please you, but not over please you, love bomb you. You want to be in a healthy relationship. You want to have fun, but you also want someone that will understand what is a relationship. Yeah. There is arguments, there is disapproval, there is sometimes, conflict. But at the end of the day, we know how to manage them when we have the emotional intelligence tool. So that's why I feel like even if you're a single mom, first of all, congratulations to you, because it's tough. Yeah. It's very, very tough. So that proved to me that you are more than amazing, honestly. And then that proved to me that it's time for you to have a beautiful life where people will give you back, not just take it. And as Coach Andres mentioned, you're last all the time. In your love life, you're first.
Yes.
You're not even second, you're first.
Yes. And that's where one thing I learned about, again, we talked more about this before, about love languages. And I know everyone's got their own, first love language, second love language, and there's no wrong love language. Mm-hmm. But I always try to encourage single moms, you better prioritize quality time as your love language. In the sense of if someone doesn't respect the limited time I have, if someone is not clear with their intentions on that 1 hour I have, if someone's not communicating consistently on that one weekend off all year, waste my time. Mm-hmm. You're wasting my time because you're chasing something else. You're infatuated with something else. You're hoping something else. You're almost assuming, filling in the dots for something else. No. Like me or don't like me. Are we done or are we not doing? Are you showing up? Are you late? Like moms need to know now.
Yeah.
Don't waste my time. Don't bullshit me. And same with the single dad as well. And so you need to almost prioritize the idea of communicating the quality time, the limited time you have in the dating world. So if someone isn't clear with their intention, someone isn't clear with the communication, someone isn't consistent with their approach, get rid of it. It's a waste of your time. It's only going to distract you and set you back up. It's only going to set yourself for failure because, again, I hate to do this, but I know it's a very touchy subject. Whatever didn't work with the father of the child or the marriage, sometimes resurfaces back to how you date and what you attract again.
Yeah.
And all you try to do is basically, they almost try to focus, if not magnify, all right, I want somebody who's not the father of my kids. I want somebody who's not my ex-husband. But you're not even factoring like strong qualities as a role model for your kid or a good man. You're looking at other more shallow, if not superficial things. And so again, a lot of times if the marriage or the parenting doesn't work out, it's because there's a lack of respect, a lack of loyalty, or a lack of attention. And so a lot of times people will go to someone because they're just getting the attention, the flattering compliments, the charm, the exciting dates, which is nothing wrong with that. But if there's nothing behind that, no substance, you're basically already dating the same guy again. And you need to understand the difference of that.
Yeah. And that, it's good to get attention.
Nothing wrong with it.
If usually it doesn't last. That's the problem. Right?
I heard the coolest quote. You want to hear it?
I want to. Of course I want to hear it. I see that you're so happy to share it with me, with us.
Affection is like perfume.
Okay.
Smell it. Don't drink it.
I love it.
It's poison. So smell. Oh, thank you. I look good. Thank you. I appreciate that. But don't drink it.
Yeah.
Don't let it be one of your go-to, elements of life. Don't let it make it part of your system. Don't digest it.
Yeah.
Don't put it in your system. Don't live on it. I'm going to drink that every day. Thank you. I need more compliments. How good do I look? How good was this? So smell it. Oh, thank you. And just keep it there. Keep it there. And that way you're not caught up with words of affirmations or at least this praise of you're so beautiful. I'll do anything for you.
Yeah.
Of
course, that's what we see every single day, unfortunately.
It's so predictable when I'm starting to hear stories. Now I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we know what will happen.
We know what will happen. And again, I try to bring sensitivity to it because these women, they want love. They want the romance, but maybe they're not as confident of it's not just saying no, but walk away power.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's not easy, and I want to talk about it in the next podcast because I have realized that most of the women that I coach, they would fall in love with ideas, like the idea of what could have been a relationship. Yeah. But there is no follow through from men. So I think that would be a nice topic to
I think
tackle.
To kind of recap everything, one thing I always say on this was this: don't ever let a man force or rush to meet your kids. To me, I think that's like the biggest red flag. Or vice versa, him introducing his kids right off the back.
That's too soon. We need to first establish the relationship and the trust before to meet.
Not
the
even
kids.
just the relationship. I go even further where you guys need to build the relationship to give it time to see how you two adults resolve differences, resolve conflict, resolve disagreements, resolve maybe a potential argument or a fight. Because if you bring someone to your kids after the honeymoon phase, you're thinking this guy's an angel, Prince Charming. And then as soon as you get some kind of tantrum from the kid or disagreement with the mom, what does he do? Avoidance, dismissive, belittling, bullying.
Raising his voice.
So you don't really actually experience that. But he treats you beautifully on dates. Yeah. He makes love to you all night. He buys you beautiful flowers. So it's, again, good lover, good start. But you want to see and take time to see, is he a good man? Is he selfless? Is he caring? Does he actually want to focus on resolving the conflict compared to being right? Is he considerate? And so when you see those things from person to person, that will make you not only more secure, but also more comfortably confident to know who you're bringing into your home. Yeah. And again, that emotional intelligence, that emotional maturity is knowing how to handle differences. Just like the way you raise your kids. Do you want your kids to throw tantrums and make a mess and because you're trying to teach them something? No. And so again, there's just a great reality check when we talked about this. If you don't know how to date a man or how to find the man you want, look at how you raise your kids. Start there.
Yeah. That's a good point. And that's why we're here as well, to respond to your questions. So remember, ladies, to leave a comment. We are here, 5-star review, of course, on the podcast. And you can join us as well if you have any question for the private coaching. Because the good news is that we still follow you. We are still here for you. We are real coaches.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the difference. So it's possible for a single mom to be happy in their love life. Correct, Coach Andres?
I guarantee it's possible, because we're going to prioritize you get that for yourself first. So you're going to get better.
Yeah.
You are guaranteed.
Yeah. I love it. Thank you so much, Coach Andres. It was a nice episode. So I can't wait to do another one with you, bro.
Let's do it.
Thank you, ladies. We'll see you soon.
Take care.